Hello, this is Josh Pasmore answering a frequently asked question about the economy. What is it? How does it work? How do we transition to it? So OmniOne does support omni-beneficial societies and economic systems that support that. And what we have understood is that the current fiat system is also built in a pyramid. Now, you're going to see more of this with graphs and explanations in the education. But to give you a quick glimpse, a pyramid has a controller up top, decisions get distributed down. Same thing with fiat. The money comes in top and it gets distributed down. Now, in our system, each group in a contribution economy would make a product, a hotel, a car, whatever that product is, and then they would contribute it to the whole. Now, that would be based on access and access agreements onto who gets to drive that car, who gets to access those buildings, when and how. So there's contribution and access in this economy that rebuilds the collective commons. So instead of just extracting money, buying my car, my pool, my house, we build a water park together. We build an event center. Instead of renting those out and so running it, we build it together. If we're building a house together, just because one of us built the bathroom doesn't mean that we get to control the bathroom. So we're planning a house together, and we're planning more than just how we build the house. We're planning how do we use the house? How do we access it? Who put in time to this? And who gets the benefits, and how does that look? That's a contribution economy, and allows us to do things that other economic models don't. What it really allows us to do is to have completely flowing energy, to feel honored for our contribution, and to have access to everything. Joy, purpose, passion, abundance, all the things of true wealth. So we don't need external resources because we've got everything we need. That is the point. That is what we're building collectively. And it's more important as we get there, as we travel along getting there, in how distribution is set up currently now within organizations that we work with. That's why we have agreements to become an ethos, to join an ecosystem. And those agreements will set parameters around distribution, especially when joining an ecosystem. There's insourcing versus outsourcing, and there's at cost for ecosystems to collaborate with one another. Money can help us come closer together or push us further apart. We want to use it to come closer together. We want to use it to pool resources and collectively have access to resources that are stewarded and forever stewarded and held in the collective field, so that us and our family generations may access it. It's about 95% more efficient than running across town, getting shoes, running across town, getting socks, and every single person driving their car through traffic. We're living in dinosaur cities. All these things can be organized. Everything can work if we're with, matched, aligned to our true family, our global tribe. We have access agreements, we have living agreements and space agreements. Now, this all goes within a whole system. And for the current time being, there's reciprocation for what you do. You get reciprocated, and you might get access at this point. Right now, we're in a very, you get paid for what you do, you don't get paid for what you do. Now, in the old economic system, as you know, it's a very top-down control system. In the stock market, imagine all these guys up top getting paid, not for what they did, but for putting money in. For an original signing, took about 2 seconds, and everyone at the bottom is getting paid minimum wage. This is not supporting the health and thriving of all life. This is not building an omni-beneficial society. Sadly, every organization, a LLC, a nonprofit, all of them require one controller, one head person. This perpetuates this system, and it doesn't allow us all to work together. So we're transcending that. We're matching our economic model to our organization model, to our legal frameworks, and everything works together as this. For now, we do pay in bounties, which means you complete a task, you get paid for that task, versus paychecks, which can become confusing. As we transition into the new paradigm, there's a lot of old paradigm energies that are still there, still at play, still the ideas are still there. We're still in ownership, not a stewardship mindset. And so we need to pay people for what they've done. This is a very simple way of doing that. And we take the profits, which would normally go to the person that put the money in. We have a non-equity model. So in other words, there is no owner of the green city. There is no owner of the ecosystem. And this means that there's no one continually extracting out of it. And if we can, there's the Help Your Neighbor law, which is worldwide accepted. It was the time banking law, actually started by the nephew of David Rockefeller, and in Portland. And this says I can grow bananas with my neighbor and we can eat them together. And so with these laws in place, we don't have to make organizational structures, pay taxes, do all these crazy things. If we have a city and the person growing the food, we all pitch in on the city. They grow food, we do something else. We're all helping to build this society. We're all helping each other and we can all access these things. That's fine. That works. That doesn't touch fiat currency. It has nothing to do with it. And so this is a model that can be implemented now. Now we do have actual society frameworks that are friendly societies, elementary societies that have a whole structure behind them, and they take a lot more time for each individual. And what they do, though, is they protect the resources, they protect the land, and they completely remove us from the obligation of debt and following outside authority regulations coming from Regis or the king. And that's a whole nother subject. But for now, we do have, once again, time banking laws, which support our contribution economy that we can step into right now as we transition and start to build the omni-beneficial societies.